Value pack fresh Purdue chicken thighs or drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Sweet-eating cantaloupes, just $3.99 each, saving you $2. Save $3 on Luigi's Real Italian Ice, just $3.99 for a 6-count. Start your morning with Kellogg's To-Go cereal cups, only $1.29. Hot price on Kool-Aid Jammers, just $3.99 for a 10-pack. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sundays 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Thursday, September the 6th. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. The director of the Department of Child and Family Services has refused to confirm or deny reports that he's been placed on administrative leave following allegations that members of his staff abused and neglected children under their care. When contacted by Bermuda Broadcasting today, he declined to comment. An unconfirmed report on the Politica website says that the director has been taken off frontline duties after he allegedly failed to investigate complaints about the abuse. Hal Davis reports.
The allegations follow the sending of a letter detailing the alleged mistreatment of children under the care of the department from the law firm Marshall, Deal & Myers to Michael Weeks, the Minister of Social Development and Sport. MDM has told Bermuda Broadcasting that the letter was prompted by concerns from a litigation guardian that a child had been physically abused by a member of staff at the Department of Child and Family Services. The Guardian, an independent social worker, also found reports from other children stating that abuse had occurred. The director is not accused of the abuse, but the staff member who's alleged to have carried it out is reported to have been allowed to continue working with children, and the child involved was allegedly threatened. Marshall, Deal & Myers say the case underlines the importance of appointing litigation guardians and lawyers to safeguard the interests of children, noting that it is an extreme rarity at the moment. Questioned about the allegations, the Ministry of Social Development and Sports has released a short statement saying it takes any accusations of abuse towards a child in its care extremely seriously, noting that a thorough investigation into this particular matter has commenced. Hal Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
No arrests have been made following the release of images of up to a dozen Bermuda rockfish apparently caught by fishermen, a catch which is illegal under local law. A video and a photograph of the rockfish, a protected species, were taken on an unidentified boat, sparking outrage on social media this week. Marine laws specify that only one rockfish can be caught per boat daily, a restriction which is meant to prevent overfishing of the species. A government spokesperson said the Department of the Environment and Natural Resources is aware of the film and an active investigation is in progress. A spokesperson for the police told Bermuda Broadcasting that the force is assisting the government with their inquiries. In other news, a new piece of diagnostic equipment that identifies respiratory issues such as asthma, chronic bronchitis, COPD, and cystic fibrosis is available for the first time in Bermuda. The Bermuda Medical Specialties Group is now accepting patients at its new facility in Hamilton. 1 in 5 islanders suffer from asthma, often complicated by mold, asbestos, and cigarette smoke. Now doctors can analyze lung function using a special machine that is also used at top American hospitals.
Patients struggling with chronic lung problems or those hoping to get a full diagnosis no longer need to travel overseas for specialist care. A world-renowned piece of diagnostic equipment is now available at one of the island's newest medical centers. The test is simpler than it looks. Inside this clear box called a plethysmograph, the mouthpiece fits like a snorkel, and the doctor asks you to breathe accordingly. 3 minutes later, a computer calculates a detailed reading, and the results are in. Dr. Morgan, a specialist physician and repeat visitor to the island, says the equipment can help people find treatment faster.
I know the attitude of people sometimes can be that if it's in Bermuda, perhaps it's not as good as going off island. And especially that's true in medicine, perhaps. That's not the case anymore.
It's one of many items of screening equipment available at the new facility in the city. Doctors can see up to 17 patients at any one time. There are 9 exam rooms, 4 diagnostic rooms, and a kitchen demonstration area to educate patients on healthy eating. They hope that various high-tech equipment used here can help treat and prevent chronic diabetes, one of Bermuda's biggest healthcare burdens.
Bermuda has one of the highest amputation rates in the world. So we would like to screen early for complications of diabetes so that we can intensify treatment and therefore slow down the progression of these complications.
The mission here is to reduce the number of patients going to hospital who may not necessarily need hospitalization and to reduce overseas travel for treatment, especially for chronic diseases. A doctor's visit here can cost anywhere between $350 to $550, depending on the service needed. However, CEO Mariko Thomas believes their holistic approach to healthcare saves more in the long run.
We have a lot of, I call them ologies. I'm not clinical, and Dr. Bazin hates when I call it that. But we have cardiology, rheumatology, neurology, endocrinology, asthma and allergy, internal medicine, dermatology, plastic surgery, family medicine. And the whole point of that is because we want to provide a complex care. What is complex care? Complex care is when you have maybe more than one thing wrong with you. And the typical experience might be that sometimes you hear people be concerned about going and visiting a lot of different doctors and having different information and still not understanding, or sometimes there's a conflict in the medication that you're taking and you don't know where to go to resolve that. We're here for that.
With Bermuda's annual healthcare costs topping $700 million, only time will tell if niche clinics like this can help bring overall costs down. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Still to come, Facebook and Twitter clamp down on fake news, but what could that mean here in Bermuda? Plus the latest update on Hurricane Florence as it continues to move towards the island. That's all coming up in just over a minute. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
Pretty Lady Seedless red and white grapes, only $3.99 per pound. Certified Angus beef boneless ribeye steak, just $15.99 per pound, saving you $5. Select varieties of Purex liquid laundry detergent, only $4.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. Save $5. On LaCroix sparkling water, just $8.99 for a 12-pack. Pepperidge Farm 15-grain or soft honey wheat bread, only $4.49 for a 24-ounce loaf. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm.
You can count on us.
From the very beginning, it was always our singular focus to do whatever it takes, use every possible resource to fight cancer, and never lose sight of the patients we're fighting for. Our cancer treatment specialists share the same vision. Experts from all over the world working closely together to deliver truly personalized cancer care. And these are the specialists we're proud to call our own. Expert medicine works here. Learn more at cancercenter.com. Appointments available now.
The new Toyota Rush, Bermuda's biggest SUV with 7 seats. There's always plenty of room. Available at Bermuda Motors.
Welcome back. Well, top Facebook and Twitter executives admit they were slow to act to stop the spread of misinformation on their social media platforms. Bermuda hasn't been immune to fake news, with a slew of phony political profiles popping up in the past year. If the U.S. social media giants become regulated, what could it mean for the popular sites here in Bermuda? Tony Waterman takes a look.
So help you God.
It was the most overt admission of failure to date. Facebook and Twitter's top execs conceding they were ill-equipped to stop the spread of misinformation on their sites.
We were too slow to spot this and too slow to act. That is on us.
We are proud of how that free and open exchange has been weaponized. We found ourselves unprepared
and ill-equipped for the immensity of the problems that we've acknowledged.
Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg and Twitter's Jack Dorsey told a U.S. Senate panel that their firms had learned from past mistakes and outlined steps taken to tackle disinformation. Sandberg said Facebook more than doubled its security group to over 20,000 people, and that more than 1 billion fake accounts were removed over a 6-month period.
Facebook has a really difficult job. You've got more than 2 billion accounts on Facebook, and trying to manage that, even if you have 20,000 people, if you want to do the math on that's a lot of accounts to be checking all the time.
The job only gets harder when Facebook's other social site, Instagram's 1 billion monthly users, are added to the mix. In Bermuda, the premier, Levita Fogo, Paula Cox, and Michael Dunkley have all been victims of fake accounts.
In Bermuda's case, it's not necessarily harmless, but they're more spam accounts trying to solicit money from people rather than fake political influence.
There were claims of fake social media accounts being used during last year's general election, although most agree they did little to influence the outcome. To tackle such campaigns, the EU and the U.S. are considering regulation.
The EU has a different set of rules than the United States does, and they have to, make sure adhere to whatever the EU rules are, so they can check the IP addresses and filter it that way. So, like Bermuda, not necessarily be included in the U.S. unless we decided we wanted to extend that to what's happening here.
Don Burgess from the Media Council of Bermuda says regulating social media sites doesn't appear to be a top priority in Bermuda, at least not yet. Tony Waterman for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Tony. Well, turning to weather now, and it's been a largely hot and sunny day, as the pictures from our broadcast tower camera show, but Hurricane Florence is out there and getting nearer. Our AccuWeather forecast will tell us just how close she's getting.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
We are keeping a close eye on Hurricane Florence that is churning a little more than 1,000 miles to our east-southeast. It is a storm that has weakened a little bit because of some recent wind shear, but it is going to probably re-strengthen some. And we're concerned about it and its path closer to Bermuda early next week. We also have a big trough of low pressure, thunderstorm advisories in effect. By the way, this forecast is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we certainly appreciate them. So as we look at the details, we're keeping a close eye on these showers around us, but very, very close eye on Florence. And you can see it's not quite as symmetrical as it was about 24 hours ago, as the upper level winds have kind of been beating this up a little bit. It is a compact storm, and similar to what we mentioned 24 hours ago, if you travel 15 miles from the center of the storm, it would take you out of the hurricane force winds. And we expect it to remain fairly small or compact, kind of a concise storm more or less, but it will be strengthening once again. So we expect some continued weakening over the next day, day and a half, and then it will probably regain status as a major hurricane, most likely to our south, but there's a large cone of uncertainty still this far out, and it may end up passing to our north. We're not sure. It could pass very close to us, and there might be possibly about a 1 in 5 chance that we deal with actual hurricane force winds in Bermuda, and we would probably give it about a 2 in 5 chance that we deal with tropical storm force winds. So that, if you add them up, there's like about a 60% chance that we're dealing with at least tropical storm force winds for a time in Bermuda early next week, and a 40% chance that it's far enough from us that we don't even see tropical storm force winds. It all comes down to how strong this high pressure system is, and if it's a little weaker and a little farther east, that may open the door for this to come a little more abruptly to the north, and that might be a scenario that brings us possibly hurricane force winds. But we need to keep a close eye on things. If high pressure remains strong into the west, the whole thing may end up passing to our south, and because it is a fairly small storm in geographical size, if you miss it by 100 or 150 miles, we may be able to avoid any tropical storm force winds. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. We'll give you more updates tomorrow as well, obviously. And as we get deeper into time, it gets a little more clear. But right now, 85 degrees, humidity is around 70%. Winds are from the east-southeast at about 10 knots. And we do expect to hold on to that very warm water temperature. On the inside, 1 to 2 foot waves are out there. And on the outside, we have 4 to 6 foot waves. And the waves will begin to increase into the end of the week. A thunderstorm advisory from our friends at the Bermuda Weather Service is in effect this evening through tonight. And the upcoming tides here, again, high tide is 6:32, low tide at 1 a.m. Tide comes back in at 6:56 in the morning, and then low tide in the early afternoon on Friday. Quick look at tonight's forecast. Rather cloudy with some showers here and there. A thunderstorm in spots in the morning. Otherwise, a warm and cloudy day. We'll keep an eye on all things that will lead to the future path of this, as the folks at the Bermuda Weather Service are doing the same. And at this point, it's about 1,050 miles to our east-southeast. East coast of the U.S. and eastern Canada. Nothing too disruptive. Much cooler out there. That's the message for anybody traveling in that direction. Again, hit or miss showers and storms tonight, tomorrow. A break Saturday, spotty showers Sunday, a break Monday, and then we get into potentially rain and wind on Tuesday. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
It's hurricane season. Here are some tips from BF&M. Before a storm, make sure you have a family plan. Stock up on food and water and protect your home. Board up and make sure your insurance policies are up to date. After a storm, check everyone's safety, especially seniors. Inspect your property and secure from further damage. Then note the damages, list, and take photos. Remember, you can always count on BF&M 24/7 during hurricane season and all year round.
All my life is changing every day, in every possible way. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me. 'Cause you're a dream to me.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. That's what dreams are made of.
The core of Smart Security's business is providing customers with burglar, fire, CCTV, and other essential alarm services. An important and growing market that offers you the best of all worlds, state-of-the-art protection technology, and monitor your system 24 hours a day, every day of the year, offering you that peace of mind knowing everything you care about is safe and secure. Technology allows residential and business customers to access information and to control their security systems remotely. For more information, call Smart Security Systems at 292-4019. Or visit their website, smartsecuritysystems.bm.
Welcome back. Well, tonight we'll see architect and painter John Gardner taking part in the 24th edition of the Pechacucha series of talks. He'll be discussing his ongoing work painting on planes, watercolors and sketches, all started on board the various flights he's taken over the last 7 years. His work is also on display at the Bermuda Society of Arts in City Hall, where Hal Davis caught up with him today.
It's a wall of images that needs careful attention. John Gardner making sure his work is firmly attached at the Society of the Arts. They're pictures that are all inspired and started on board the many flights he takes.
I just happened to start flying a lot, so I started sketching on planes as well, because I'm sitting still and there are not a lot of distractions. So it's not like I have to tell people to wait or wait for me while I draw for half an hour or an hour. So that's how it started.
The artist says he sometimes finishes off the work once he's off the plane, but lots are entirely completed on board. And with many of his flights going from Bermuda to Boston or vice versa, there's not a lot of time to complete a piece.
I don't treat it as pressure, because if I don't finish, I don't finish. But I had a flight recently, and flight attendant Alexandra, I showed her, and she said, "You busted that out in an hour?" And I was like, well, I guess so. It was kind of fun.
There's a remarkable range of images, especially considering the limitations of his subject matter. But does he ever feel slightly frustrated at how similar modern planes and airports look?
I've had the odd occasion, I think, okay, now what am I going to do? And then something will catch my eye. You know, like I go, oh, the person in front of me, her hair is this beautiful blonde top knot. Well, I'll just draw that. Or one day I said, I'll just draw 8 windows, views, and I'll just do abstracts of the sky.
So what do his fellow passengers who see him at work make of his paintings at his fold-down table?
Sometimes there are passengers and they say, oh, look at this man here, or they say to one of their children, hey, take a look at what this guy's doing, and I'll share the sketchbook. And it's not an ego thing, it's just nice. You end up talking to people because there's not a lot else going on a plane. You're They've got you pretty much set, like stay in your seat. So when someone sort of steps outside of that mold, it's actually kind of interesting.
So it's art, created at times when many other passengers have little better to do than watch second-run films. An inspiration to us all, perhaps, to let our imagination take flights of fancy next time we travel. Howell Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Very cool. Thanks, Hal. Well, still to come, Earl Baisden will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Hey, Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir-fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up. Avoid the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It don't matter. Well, no matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court. JBM Realty and Associates services all your real estate needs. Our agents have years of real estate experience specializing in selling of properties, renting of properties, property management, vacation rental. So whether you're looking to move to another location, selling your home, purchasing a new home, or a landlord looking for assistance in managing your property, give us a call today. One of our experienced agents will be more than willing to assist you with all your housing needs. Call us on 234-2050 or visit our website, jbmrealtyandassociates.com.
We are the voices.
You are with the captain.
It's Mr. Midday. 12 new major news. The big station.
The morning show.
Your number one song.
The Faces.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
What an upset it was.
The Storytellers.
They are actually using the pepper spray.
Police are aware of this theory.
The water is 3,500 metres deep.
The tax climbs up to 12.5%.
The window on our community.
We bring you the best in U.S. television entertainment
and the greatest sporting events in the world.
A brilliant performance of Duffy.
We are the island's only Bermudian-owned broadcaster of both television and radio.
With the only TV channels that are available over the air in beautiful high definition, completely free.
We are always expanding.
We are always innovating.
And most important, we're always your station.
This is Bermuda Broadcasting.
Sports now. The Bermuda Football Association is considering fines and other penalties for teams while the island's golfers tee off in Ireland. Those stories and much more in today's Sports Report with Earl Baisden.
Fines or forfeit. That's the result if clubs do not have licensed coaches, according to the Bermuda Football Association president, Mark Wade.
There's a fine for each team that doesn't have a licensed coach as of the registration period. So there's going to be quite a few clubs who are going to have fines to pay. And then ultimately for our competitive leagues, there's going to be game forfeitures, which, we're going to come to that point. And again, very disappointing, but a necessary step that we decided to take. And when I say we, the Congress decided to take these steps years ago. So we've certainly just now going through all of the match reports because we have to be sure of what documentation was submitted. So we're going through the match reports, we're going through all of the applications for coach licensing, and I would say by the end of the week we'll know whether or not teams who've already played games will have to forfeit games.
Gulf South Conference announced that freshman Judah Chapman has been named the Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Week. Chapman scored in his collegiate debut against Flagler College. His goal helped clinch a 2-0 season opening victory for Spring Hill College. Chapman followed up that performance by scoring the equalizer in Spring Hill's 2-1 victory over number 23 ranked University of Tampa. Bermudian trio Jared Dillis, Walker Campbell, and Micah Ming began competing in Ireland as the 2018 Men's World Amateur Team Golf Championships Eisenhower Trophy got underway. After the first round, Dillis and Campbell are tied 46th at 1 under par after rounds of 72. Ming is tied 146th after his round of 4 over par 77. The 2018 Optimus World Sailing Championships came to an end in Cyprus. Representing Bermuda were Christian Eben, Sebastian Kemp, Azai Smith, Magnus Ringstad, and Lalai Walker. Kemp fell from the 4th place spot in the Silver Fleet to finish 14th with 216 net points. Also sailing in the Silver Fleet was Eben, who moved up 13 places to finish in 18th place with 231 net points. Walker was the only Bermuda sailor in the Bronze Fleet, and she moved up 4 places on the final day to finish in 56th place with 421 net points. Ringstad, sailing in the Admiral Fleet, jumped another 5 places to finish the regatta in 6th place with 301 net points. Smith moved up 1 place to finish in 11th with 316 net points. The Martini Open and Bacardi Seniors Cup tennis tournament is underway at the Pomanda Gate Tennis Club. In men's singles play, Gavin Manders, down a set and down 3 love in the second set, retired due to injury against Javon Jordan Witter, while Sam Butler defeated Yves Doyon in straight sets 6-1, 6 love. Neil Tolston needed 3 sets to defeat Jensen Bascom 6-2, 4-6, 7-6, and the doubles team of David Thomas and Jordan Witter defeated Rikai Burrows and Denzel Hollis in straight sets 6 love, 6-3. Matthew Oliveira finished 8th overall, competing in the 2018 Green Mountain Stage cycle race. Representing Hot Tubes, Oliveira clocked an overall time of 6 hours, 49 minutes, and 5 seconds to finish 2 minutes and 28 seconds behind his teammate and overall winner, Magnus Sheffield. The highlight for Oliveira came during Stage 4, which was the Dealer.com Burlington 18.7-mile criterium that would see Oliveira clock a winning time of 41.45. The Bermuda Karting Club season will kick off this coming Sunday with a renewed sponsorship deal. The first race day will take place at the Rubis Southside Raceway after signing another 2-year deal with Rubis. Scott Barnes explains what's in store for the first day.
We're excited to welcome Rubis back on as another 2-year sponsorship for the facility down there at Rubis Southside Raceway. So we're going to do something a little special this Sunday and have some celebrity races in our rental cars. We got some radio personalities, some MPs, and some exciting names coming down to jump in our rental carts. So doing that along with our normal races, and then we got food vendors and everything as normal. So bring the whole family down, and it's free to get in and come and watch. It's only $5 to get into the pits, and we're excited to kick off our season.
Adam Hall has been named the Baltimore Orioles Minor League Player of the Month for August 2018. During the month, Hall went on a record-breaking 19-game hitting streak, and he also had his first home run of the season. The Bermuda Commercial Summer Softball League playoffs continued at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond, which produced 86 runs in a triple header. The Buffaloes went down 17-8 to the Ragamuffins in the opener. Then the Butterfield and Valley Sliders defeated the Sea Venture Mini-Me's 20-16. The Axbats went down 15-10 to Docksiders. The second spring senior bowling league season got underway at the Warwick Lanes with 8 teams battling out to see who will be crowned the champions at the conclusion of the 27-week league. The Drifters defeated the Pin Splitters 4-0. Just Kickin' went down 3-1 to the Newcomers, while the Last Pins went down 3-1 to the Last Minutes. The Blue Angels defeated the Islanders 3-1.
I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. And before we go, we leave you with some of the best images from today's back-to-school extravaganza at the New Testament Church of God, organized by the Caines brothers. The annual event supplies free haircuts, braiding, school supplies, and this year, dental checkups. Have a great evening. I'm Diane Brewer. We hope to see you back here same time tomorrow night. Good night.